name's Philip H. Anselmo.
And I'm Marzi Montazeri.
And we play in this rock group called Philip H. Anselmo and
The Illegals.
And you are watching The Live Addiction with Steve-O on thebuzz.com.
I'm here at Warehouse Live in Houston, Texas, and my guests today are none other than Philip Anselmo, who needs no introduction, and Houston metal legend Marzi Montazeri of their band Philip H. Anselmo and The Illegals.
Really pronounced Anselmo.
Anselmo.
Not many people get that right, but it's Anselmo.
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys are currently on tour in support of your record Walk Through Exits Only.
And the horror EP, Housecore Horror EP, which is a 10-inch record with 2 songs on it. So just making everything all absolutely correct.
Absolutely. I know you guys go way back. Can you fill the viewers in on how your relationship came about and how this band came about?
I joined Pantera in 1987, and Houston was part of the circuit that we would play. And Dimebag introduced me to Marzi, and that was that. And me and Marzi developed a friendship. And really all I can say is this project in general is something that me and him have talked about for over 20 years, and finally over the last 3-4 years it's come together. So bingo.
Cool. Marzi, I understand you have a pretty interesting experience with seeing him live for the first time. You were at the first Pantera show, right, with Phil?
In Shreveport, yeah. I didn't meet Phil then, but I happened to see you at the first night.
What was that like, man?
It was awesome. They came out, I caught their middle set. You all came out with, somebody gave me a Dr. Van Halen. Fire shooting out, you know, they were fucking incredible.
That's rad.
Incredible then, and I was like, man. And then, you know, what stood out was Philip's pipes that particular night, and then Dimebag did a guitar solo, and he would dedicate it to his hero up in heavens, and it would be excerpts of Randy Rhoads solos, which, you know, if you close your eyes, you thought somebody put on the record.
That's when Ambrose was running sound. Yeah, we had a great sound man, and it sounded like a fucking record.
It really did sound like the record. It did. I came back and I told Dracula, Kyle, my old student, he was a Randy Rhoads fan. I said, dude, you need to hear them. At the end of Suicide Solution, when they go in to have reverb, they do it live. They would do the effects that was on the record. They would mimic it live to a T. So that was the first night I saw them. I was like, holy crap, man. And then after that, they came to Rock Zone and did some destruction, and they got kicked off of there and made a home at the club Backstage, where me and all of our friends, man, hordes of us constantly would go see. You had a great foundation in Backstage Club here in Houston, man.
Totally, yeah, great memories actually. Because I remember the club he's talking about. We played, but we were too heavy for their clientele or something like that. And there was some fists thrown and glass broken and this and that. And then he's correct. Backstage took us in, and we would play there every time thereafter.
That's cool. Yeah, I also work over at House of Blues, and the lighting dude there, Al, he was telling me about Cardi's back in the day. I guess
that's a long time ago. I used to play Cardi's before Pantera, and man, that's a lot of work too. There was like 5 sets a night.
Yep.
And they would book you for a whole week, 5 sets a night. That shit was grinding. So yeah, I remember Cardi's.
Cool. Well, after this tour, what do you guys have planned together? Are you continuing together with this band, or do you each have other projects you're working on? You're both very busy. I know we spoke a little bit about this.
Well, I have a new Down EP coming out, and we're going to do some touring with that. But the Illegals are going to Europe. We're playing Hellfest in France, and there's a lot of offers and stuff that I wish I could say. The one I told you earlier about, I wish I could say it out loud, but until it's real, I'll keep quiet about that. But we got a lot of stuff coming up. This whole year is jam-packed with nothing but touring, really, for all of us.
That's cool. And what about you, Marzi?
I'm going to try to take advantage of the time that Phil puts into Down, you know, and try to do a solo record. And try to...
You ought to put some time into writing some goddamn riffs for them.
That too. I do that. And it's actually a significant difference between the two.
Yeah.
I write like simpler stuff for that other, for my solo project, and with Phillips, you know, like, it's just screwballs, man. It's just, well, I can't explain that. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing both.
Now, for the solo project, do you have anybody in mind that you really want to collaborate with?
Dwayne Tillman I'm going to jam with. He's going to play with drums. But I think, man, you know, I'm going to try to collaborate with whoever I can. You know, I talked to Sheldon about doing some country music, bringing some mandolins and some banjos and part of guitars and resonators, and writing a song country-esque with him. So it would be all over the place, kind of, sort of.
That's cool.
You know, so I have to kind of get this shit out that's mellow and this and that.
He can do it all.
Very
He can
cool.
do it all.
All right, well, Phil, I gotta ask. I interviewed Rex a couple months back and asked him the same thing. I gotta ask: Pantera reunion or tribute? Is there any possibility? What do you think?
Right now, I just, I can't really say anything about it, really, because it's nothing can happen unless Vince and Rex and I sat down and in a room and sat down and talked things out, and that is yet to happen. So I think it's just a bunch of internet rumor right now.
Yeah, that was kind of the same conclusion he had.
Yeah, and that's all we can really say. It's the truth.
Yeah, that Golden Gods performance you guys did with Anthrax, that was killer.
It was fun. Yeah, man. Rex and I are going to be on this tour. There is one stop in Anaheim, is it?
Yeah.
We're doing this thing called the Metal Masters, and this is the 5th installment, and it's me and all the Anthrax guys, Kerry King from Slayer, Billy Sheehan, Mike Portnoy, and Rex, and we're doing a bunch of Slayer stuff, a bunch of old Pantera stuff, and a couple SOD songs, so it should be fun. It's always fun. I love those guys. I grew up with those guys, and they were huge influences, but also, like the Slayer guys really took us under their wing back in the fucking day, and that's an appreciation. It's Slayer, and they saw Pantera, and Kerry King he was a fan immediately, and took us under his fucking wing, man. That's once again an appreciation that I can't put into words. So I love those guys, and we're gonna have some fun.
Cool. Well, I want to ask you both a couple of random questions.
Right.
What are the artists that got you each into music, into playing music? Who inspired you when you were young?
I grew up in a house where it was all Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. Oh God, all the radio rock bands of yesteryear. That's tough. I guess when I started, like my first garage band though was really Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Ozzy Osbourne stuff at the time, so I guess those are my bare beginnings, and I know I'm leaving out about 10,000 different people, and I apologize, because if you take a look at a band like the Beatles, you gotta also look, 15, 20 years down the line, and a band like Queen or something like that, a fucking incredible band. So, ELO, how do you like that?
What about you?
I grew up too with music that was around my house, which was like cinematic, and the first thing I fell in love with was the love theme for Romeo and Juliet. That's one melody that was just like, when I heard the melody, and I would have to go around, I would hum stuff, and then whatever the radio supplied, that's what I grew up with. I loved Led Zeppelin, and I loved Pink Floyd, and then when I heard Van Halen, that's the thing that like kind of rocked me, man.
That was it.
Van Halen blew me away too. That's a band too that just smoked me. I got in an argument with this dude because I never really heard Van Halen before. And I was like into Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever album. He's like, man, Eddie Van Halen blows Ted Nugent away. And I'm like, you're crazy. Nobody blew it. And we got Can't Leave Kiss out of this, Ace Frehley and shit like that, Kiss, as far as lead guitar players go. So he swapped me out, Cat Scratch Fever, from Van Halen's first album. And when Eruption came on, I knew I was 100% wrong in my assessment. So, yeah, Van Halen.
All right, it's the start of a new year. Looking back on 2013, I'd like to talk about some of you guys' favorites. I know you're big into movies. What were some of your favorite movies you saw this year, both of you?
are some good movies out there, and I know I get asked this a lot, you know, about horror films specifically. And gosh, what was good? Absentia was okay. I actually saw a modern one not that long ago. See, I don't like comedy with my horror, but there was this terribly titled movie called Grabbers I just saw that was kind of fun, despite the awful cartoonish CGI. Man, I'm leaving out 1,000. I'm blanking on that as far as movies go. But I will say, Portal's Vexavoid record is insane, and that was a pretty awesome highlight of 2013. Fucking incredible record, incredible band, outrageous.
What about you? Any movies you saw that really stuck out?
I saw a lot of documentaries, like Lottery of Birth, things like that. But what stuck out really, man, to be honest with you, for me, because I haven't had the time to really sit down and watch too much flicks, was when we were on tour. Philip had all these submissions, and then truly, he said what stuck with me, those pieces that he showed me, like air conditions. Those pieces, they stuck with me. And I mean, they stuck with me. It wasn't just that piece. The mold.
See, he's talking about the submissions that I got by directors for that House Horror and Film Fest. So there were some awesome ones. And the one you're thinking about, The Lobster.
That too?
What was the fucking name of it? And now I feel like an asshole.
Please tell me it's called The Lobster.
It is not called The Lobster. It is called, I'm gonna remember it right when we say, okay, wrapping up great, awesome. Sorry, god damn it.
I forget it. I forget.
It's
a short.
But it's unforgettable.
Did you guys catch any big blockbusters this year, like American Hustle or Wolf of Wall Street?
Fuck no.
No?
I've never heard of those.
Not really. I don't really watch movies like that.
No? Really good. I like to end any interview with a tattoo question. I know, I gotta do it. So if you guys could each, or do you have any tattoos?
I actually have no tattoos.
That's rad. You are the first person I've interviewed without tattoos.
He's lucky.
You got like a favorite one or like a funny story behind one you'd like to talk about?
No. But, you know, after getting tattooed by Paul Booth, really, you know, he's the type of innovative tattoo artist that does incredible work, and I believe he influenced an entire different, the newer generation of tattoo artists. So I do want to give him props, but I am hell-bent on any tattoos I get from now on, either A, have to kind of suck, or B, just be like bands I like Slayer and Black Flag and a little Dark Throne action there. And of course, oh look at this, I got my stockings on. Portal.
There you go.
Portal right there. So I ain't getting no good tattoos anymore. It's fucking, everybody's got them and it's fucking trendy and boring and fucking, it's very boring.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, go pick up Philip H. Anselmo and The Illegals' new record, Walk Through Exits Only.
Try it out.
Thanks, guys.